All right, so of course you guys heard you have to be living under a rock to not know that Jeezy filed for divorce with Jeannie, or soon to be ex-wife, right? We're gonna be discussing just some of the talking points around it that's been surrounding it. These are real issues that arise in a relationship, and we're gonna get into it like that.
But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy, and here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the f*** do you think you are? But I was triggering him. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years where nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right, I could have. But this was something greater that I wanted, and also a great challenge to myself to say, what if, now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life?
I mean, damn, she called it a dragon. Hey, but she noticed it at that time and realized she had an issue. That's what I mean about knowing yourself. That way you could, kind of curtail certain different things like that. So nobody's perfect, but at least, you know certain things that you do that are annoying or it's not giving you good results with people, either by feedback or you can see how people react to you. You can fix those things. You can look at those things and say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try to, make those things better. Whatever that might be, anger issues, anxiety, they're negative all the time. I mean, whatever happens, they already said it's due to cultural differences. But again, there's a lot of rumors going out there, right? And so I just find it very interesting to kind of tackle some of these talking points because, again, anger issues is a big deal in a lot of these relationships. And typically, the woman files for divorce, so something. He was like, nah, I ain't dealing with it. So something was up. Again, there's a lot of speculation. Everybody and their mama had some new scoop from their source. It came out that it was just cultural differences, but that can mean a lot of different things, right? Let's face it, that's real general. It leads you to wonder what could have really happened. It sounds like they're not really gonna get back together. Some people, they work through it and it's a possibility, but whatever happened, it's a wrap. And yeah, it sounds like the guy that she was with before, they're making a lot of it like, oh, she was with a white guy, but it's a type, right? She just probably didn't respect him. When a woman is really used to just running over a man, she's just not gonna respect him. She's probably with him just for the fact that he can cover the bills, whatever suitable for her to keep her life going, make her life more comfortable until she finds somebody better. She probably never respected him, and she wasn't willing to curb certain things about herself to make herself suitable as a partner. She just felt like, hey, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. And this is why I say, you can't deal with women that you're chasing, or you got to deal with women that like you, or you got to deal with women that respect you, because they always gonna justify going against the grain. They're always gonna justify going against the grain. They're gonna be like, well, hey, you wanted me, you chose me, you're gonna take me as I am. You're gonna handle me how I am, and I've only seen it be a headache. But yeah, it's crazy how the person that she was talking to didn't really encourage the change or the growth and working on her anger issues. Oh, you didn't really need to do that. Well, you did need to do that if you wanted to keep your man. That's the point. And so yeah, she could have been together, be single, make money, but she wouldn't have a man like a lot of single women are trying to do. They trying to get a man after making all that money. That's not everything. You can't take that with you. At the end of the day, I've seen some women out there that's lonely out there. They got the bread, but they lonely. The fact that Jeannie was willing to work on herself, looked like it kind of bothered old girl. She's probably single, or she probably a woman that can't deal with her anger issues, right? And has an issue with it. But you keeping other women single by giving them bad advice. You need more OGs out there, women that's gonna say, hey, yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Or yeah, you know what, that's a good move. You do got a good man. You need more OGs out here, like women OGs that's gonna keep these women in relationships. See, y'all gotta quit that, man. The bottom line is you have to compromise. I mean, that's usually on both sides, right? Men and women have to compromise some kind of which way. If you're a guy walking around here and you angry, life sucks. People in general, they don't want to be around folks like that. Some people do misery loves company. Y'all heard that saying, but at the end of the day, if you want to be around somebody of quality, someone who's trying to live for the longevity, build something successful, usually those folks are going to want to steer clear of those type of people. I just thought it was interesting the interviewer had mentioned that though, and the way she did too. That's how a lot of women influence each other, you know. At that time, she was in a happy relationship and revealing something that she was working through, that she felt improved her and improved her chances in the relationship with Jeezy at that time. Now you heard her say that she truly respected Jeezy. She thought that he was her equal, you know, and that's an ongoing thing. Are you her equal? Does she carry your respect? Short, long term, through turmoil, through issues, does she carry your respect? That's a big deal right there. I had to catch that one because, you know, you got to listen to what people say. And you catch certain little different things like that they'll tell you. You know, you got to kind of see who you're dealing with. But back to her, because she felt she had respect for Jeezy, she was willing to work on those issues. And I think it's important for anybody in a relationship to work on certain different things, right? Especially if your partner is telling you about it, like, hey, I don't think this is right. You step back and say, okay, is this something that can make me a better person? And a lot of times it usually is. If somebody feels like they need to tell you about it, you know, you at least want to take a look at it if you're a good partner. Let me look further. Let me look deeper into it. That's when you know you're dealing with somebody who's at least willing, who's at least attentive to certain things like that and could be communicated with. For her, you know, to realize, okay, I got anger issues, and a lot of people do. They got a short temper. They used to get in their way. But yeah, you see how basically, you know, it took Jeezy to say, hey, nah, I'm not going for that. A lot of guys have to stand on their square and really just say, look, call it how you see it to these women, right? That's the only thing they really respect anyway. They may not like it when you tell them, but at the end of the day, they'll respect that you were able to communicate that to them and let them know, hey, this ain't it, ma. I ain't going for it. Not me, not us. Let's figure out a different way. When they say like submissive, I think this is what they mean, right? Someone who you could work with. You know, they're used to doing one way, and then they realize, you know what, this is not the better way. Maybe he didn't even think that she had these issues when they first met. I mean, a lot of times, that's why they say, you know, you want to be with somebody a couple years before you really get married, or you go to a whole nother level, like live with them or be with them a lot, because you really don't know who they are. They could be a chameleon, you know, and give you what they think you want in order to get with you. But, you know, long term, they might not be able to carry that, you know, because it takes real discipline, right? Especially if you're trying to improve certain different things. Everything is good when everything is good, right? You know, you haven't gone through anything, no drama, nothing's tested you yet to really see how people react, how people change, how people go through conflict with you, conflict with others, internal, external. How does one move forward through these things? Like, how do you apologize? How do you make up? Like I said, you know, it was cool for him to be able to kind of just hold her accountable and say, look, nah, this ain't gonna work out. This, you know, you're gonna have to be able to take a different approach with me. And I think ultimately that's what these women respect at the end of the day, right? And then you got to stand on it. And then if it's like, well, hey, you're not understanding that, then we're gonna have to go to the next level with it. Well, I guess we're gonna have to split, or we're gonna have to move forward. Yeah, you can't have nobody disrespecting you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to get upset, or especially if the person does something to warrant you being angry, but there's ways that you can, especially if that's your partner, that's, you know, your girl or your guy, there's ways to get upset, right? You know, there's certain lines and boundaries you don't have to cross, because that's not your enemy. That's someone you working and you building with and you sleeping with in your house. got dreams with and goals with long term. Just ways to push forward and work through different disagreements. And some people, that's all they know is fighting. All they know is being violent. All they know is arguing, going too far, throwing things and being dramatic. That's all they know. Long term, that wears on a couple. Women being submissive, right? I know for me and the guys I spoke with, they want a woman who's cooperative. Part of that submissive is having that ultimate respect for your partner. You constantly at odds with somebody all the time, that wears on you. And one thing about anger issues though, that just don't just go away. You got to work on that for real. And you never really know if the person's really got that under control until they really got triggered. I hear a lot of women say, they want a guy who can handle them. And this is a great example, right? Where you're cool with a guy handling you for a minute and then you call it control, right? Until somebody says, look, nah, I'm not dealing with this. This is how I need you to be. It really takes two adults in a relationship to really say, I'm going to self-evaluate. I'm going to constantly self-evaluate and try to be the best version of myself for my partner. Those type of things drain a man. They drain a man. And that's part of the peace that men talk about, right? Coming home, not having to deal with somebody who is taking it there way too far. Like you the enemy. You sleeping with the enemy or something. Ain't no man trying to handle a grown person. Nobody trying to handle you, ma. You either grown or not. But I did notice a lot of haters out there though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them out there that really couldn't wait to talk about this. Speculating crazy, right? People are a little bit too excited to hear this news. Y'all let me know. I'm seeing a little bit too much about that. She was on the reel and she was talking about how she'd rather have black guys for having fun and hooking up with, but at the same time, when she wanted to take a serious relationship, she would prefer a white guy. That's fine. If you didn't like that, then you would steer clear of her and date somebody else. It was her preference. Not a big deal. She didn't say she hate people. Again, she's mixed herself. So people got to allow people to have their preferences. I think that's what's crazy about today. Because of that, right, people are really happy with Jeezy and Jeannie might breaking up. And really, I'm not going to get into if she did or if they got into the marriage for the right reasons or if they really was serious about being married. I mean, that's on them. That's up to them. I would think, to get married and have a kid, you are serious about it. But, especially in Hollywood and the entertainment industry and all that, people do different things for different reasons. It's a different world. I would assume that they really did, and it just didn't work out. You grow apart sometimes in a relationship. So I'm just really looking at it from the talking point of, how do you go from being in a relationship, being married, having a kid, being happy, to now you're divorced and you're done. That man said no plans of reconciliation, none. But yes, sir, let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. This is wild. Of course, everybody's talking about it. But yeah, it's just some interesting things to learn from, man. Especially if you're trying to get in a relationship, you're already in a relationship, everything's going great. It's only inevitable until you go through a situation where you're going to have to work through it. And how you work through it is really how you're going to be able to extend it and make it last for as long as you're talking about. Everybody wants to get together and be married for a lifetime. Well, let's see. And I'm going to tell you right now, someone who is combative, got anger issues, don't want to be told anything, that to me sounds like hell. That sounds like a bad relationship waiting to happen. You have to be told everything, but you don't want to be told. Those are the worst people to be with. Over time, that just drains you. These poison pills I keep talking about. The way I see it, a lot of men are seeing women who lack self-awareness, lack empathy. They're not cooperative. Those are the ones that guys are avoiding now. You can be fine all you want. The bottom line is how you treat me is a big deal. I am not sleeping with the enemy. Give your man your best you. If you're not willing to do that, stay out of a relationship. Tell me why y'all was hating though. Whoever was hating on this, tell me why y'all was hating. I think I got an understanding of why, but I want to know. Hit me in them comments, man. Let's talk about it. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out.